I'm going in there like right now. Sorry. I'll get you in a bit. Ace, you got to move over. Look where you are. You got to snuggle up with the Hoke.
Hey, I'm a radio personality.
You got to turn on your microphone.
This TV.
What did I say before we turned
this
on?
TV shit.
Turn on your microphone.
This TV stuff is for the birds. You know, I got a radio face.
You had one job to do, Ace. So make sure you're talking. How are you doing, bro?
Checks in the mail. Okay, I'm fantastic. A little tired. I was out with the Matson groupies last night for the Matson birthday party at his palatial estate. And until the wee hours in the morning. I had like 2 or 3 hours sleep. So.
Yeah, you look a little bit.
I feel a little bit Matson.
Nice. Your story's like you're just but yeah.
Hey, stop rubbing my leg.
What?
Rubbing my leg.
Well, welcome to the Mark Hoke Show. Of course, we are live here at the World Series of Poker 2016 edition.
Excellent.
And the fireworks are already starting. Wow. Of course, the Colossus wrapped up yesterday, or day one.
Day one.
Yesterday. But another major happening that has got the poker world talking.
Is that the Ferguson thing?
Chris Ferguson is in the house.
Walking around. Like he owns the place.
Started playing yesterday. He is, well, I didn't say that.
He's living the dream again.
Well, he's here. And
he's not hiding.
Not anymore, apparently. And I have to tell you, all I did today was put up a picture of him on Twitter, which, by the way, that was Andy Block, for those of you that have failed at poker player identification in that picture.
I don't see him looking like you at all. But
not
that's
me.
all right.
But, yeah, and obviously people are absolutely... Well, I mean, I have heard a lot of different reaction to Mr. Ferguson being here. And I will say I did go introduce myself to him, because I'll tell you, I will say this: who wouldn't want to? I mean, the media. Who wouldn't want to get that interview?
Absolutely. Why not?
And you know, obviously, and I'll say obviously, what happened with Phil was horrible. I mean, anybody who listened to the show in 2 seconds, like Phil Green, for example, you know, you would know that. You know, obviously, I blasted these guys repeatedly for what they did.
Well, it personally affected a lot of people. It affected a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, what happened was unreal.
And it continues to affect people.
Yeah, I mean, there's still
in the industry.
Money back. You know,
in the industry.
We spoke on the KSHP show a couple weeks ago about we covered Lederer and his letter on apology, which I kind of thought was a little bit bogus, but. It is what it is. Daniel put that out, and now all of a sudden Chris Ferguson has decided to attend this year's World Series of Poker. So Ace, I'm going to give you the first shot at this on the show. What is your opinion about Chris Ferguson being here at the World Series of Poker?
It didn't directly affect me. It affected me as being a poker player, obviously, in the industry my whole life. But I hope to God I screw up that bad in the future of my life that I get a second chance. I think they all need to have a second chance. I mean, they're always going to be perceived as what they are, what they did. But there is a time that you have to heal the wounds and move on and get over it.
Well, and my issue with Howard Lederer saying some of the things that he said, obviously when he did that interview with Matt Harvest a couple of years ago with the Lederer files, which was pretty much I didn't know, and accepted no responsibility whatsoever for anything that he did. I was
knee-jerk reaction.
I mean, that whole thing was, and obviously, there was only certain questions that he would be allowed to be asked because of legal issues and everything else, and it was just a miserable thing to watch, and it was such a shirking of responsibility on his part. And he didn't say he was sorry.
They were scared. I'm sure they were just seriously scared too. They couldn't tell the truth.
Well, yeah, and obviously there's legal.
I don't think they could.
But and what I said on my show a couple of weeks ago was that Howard has, in my eyes, done nothing to make things right with the players. If you want to say you're sorry to someone, you change your actions. You do things differently. You correct whatever you did wrong. And Lederer has shown no regrets, has shown no remorse, has done nothing to help these guys get their money back. And like I said, a lot of my friends that play still have not gotten some of their money back.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. I have not seen anything that Chris Ferguson has done on the team. But of course he hasn't even made a statement. He's been, hiding out.
He probably feels that he doesn't need to, for whatever reason. People get in their cocoon in their own little world, they tighten it up and keep everything else out.
Well, I think that he owes it to everybody to come out and say something. I mean, he's going to have to. Now you're in the public eye again. You need to.
How about this?
I mean, and what do you say? I mean, it's hard to imagine what you say except you're sorry and you're trying to make it right.
How about this scenario? What happens if he wins something? What happens if he puts on?
Could you imagine
the jewelry?
If he is on, could you imagine him at a final table? Here, what the mothership would be like in here?
Just think about it, man. Just think about it. It could happen. He's not here to make friends and family. He's here to make money and get a bracelet.
And certainly, obviously, I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, let's welcome," "Hey, cool's high,"
No, I'm not.
No, I don't know if anybody is, but he does still have friends in the poker community, obviously.
Sure.
And
like I said, like anything, I mean, I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I believe in second chances. So I'm not going to forgive them, but they all need to give a second chance. There's people have done worse. Murderers and et cetera, comparing it to that. Just for an example, I guess. We'll get over it.
Yeah, I mean, this is, it's certainly going to be, it'll be quite the scene around here as Chris continues to make his rounds here at the World Series of Poker. And obviously a lot of negative reaction. And actually, I'm going to go to my Twitter account here real quick. And just take a look at, of course, at Mark Hoke Show, because I want to give you some of the reactions that I got immediately after I posted a picture from, let me start here. One person mentioned "sorry block" because they actually recognized that it was Andy Block in the picture. So good work there to T_Dubs82 for his nice job there. I'm going to slide down here a little bit.
Security.
Greg Merson, of course, the former world champion. Can't wait to berate him at all costs.
Wow.
So obviously very happy.
Well,
Greg was one of those guys that
there's a lot of stake in it. I can't blame them.
At Pacino Kid, is it true he smells like a tramp's crotch?
Oh, jeez. Well, that's going to be their life going forward. I mean, like I said, they will get forgiveness down the road, but it's still going to taint them for the rest of their lives. It's just there's no.
Let's see who else we got here. Normal fellow, NRML fella. Do you consider that a thrill or honor or something? No way you're that out of touch. Of course I'm not that out of touch. And did I consider it a thrill or honor? No. I will say this. It's just surreal. It's just surreal seeing it. You don't.
What you do.
You just never would have thought that he and Howard Lederer would show up here again. I mean, just when I didn't see him yesterday because I played the Colossus for a little while.
A couple minutes.
We'll tell that story later. But it's just it's very odd. And being in the media, and getting a picture of the guy, that's good for me.
Absolutely. That's what you do, man.
That's part of my job. At K Silver SILVR7, did you thank him for helping to cripple poker in the whole world? There's another reaction to it.
Well, just think about him being here and Howard wanting to come here. How important the WSOP is to them in their life. For them to be here, I mean, they could go any obscure place and play poker, but this is the World Series of poker. So,
Who else we got? A friend of mine, Scott Cooper, at Scott_Cooper. Ask him if I can get my money back. Punch him in the face. I'm good either way. I got the Katie Stone at Katie Stone Poker with a frowny face. Let's see what else we got. There was a gentleman at Melkerson asking, is he giving you an autograph or a check? He is not giving me anything. That is clearly Andy Block. Andy Block.
And they're good friends too.
They are good friends.
They're very good friends.
You know, that doesn't change.
No.
You know, but so those are just some of the reactions that came in just for posting a photograph and said that I met Chris Ferguson.
You're gonna find more celebrities.
And I will offer Chris Ferguson a chance to come on the show.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He'll get tough questions from me. You know that. I don't mess with him.
Write it on there yourself.
I'm not gonna say, well, the legal department says you can't. Well, then screw you.
You're gonna ask him what kind of conditioner he uses in his hair. Is that cutting edge?
I know. But obviously, a lot of people talking about it. There's so much anger and so much angst caused by it. And you can see that just microcosm 5 years later that it is still quite alive.
And you can tell this place hasn't even started yet. This hasn't even picked up yet. The halls are still really relatively empty. Wait till the masses really get good. Then you'll see some more outpouring.
Yeah, and I couldn't at the time. I know there's when I've seen this, there's been a joke. What other person is me? I'm a security guy. And I think the one thing that's one little thing that's so sad about this to me is that before all that happened, Chris was really recognized as well as was recognized.
Oh, absolutely.
And, obviously
charismatic character,
and this just turned around, and rightfully so. He's gonna get a lot of venom as well. He should.
It'll never stop, even though, like I said, getting forgiveness somewhere down the road, it's still never going to stop. It's like a tattoo that can't come off. It's there for life.
We shall see. And one thing that I always wondered when this day would come, that one of those guys would come back here, what it was going to be like for them. Just in terms of if people that of course a lot of us lost. But to see what everybody is going to do when they see Chris Ferguson, somebody that lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because of what happened with Phil. What are they going to do? What's going to take place? Is this going to turn into chaos in here?
Did you say a minute ago that he did have a bodyguard?
There's a person that I've seen with him. Now, like I said, I don't know who that is. Actually, when I took the picture, that gentleman was in the picture.
Oh, okay.
But every time I've seen him walk past, that person's been asked. So do it.
It makes sense.
Scary or not? That's just pure speculation. It could just be a friend. But I think the world has been. We've talked about it every year. What happens if Howard shows up? What happens if Chris Ferguson shows up? Kids, we're going to find out. So we're going to find out in a hurry.
I would have thought Howard would have been before Chris.
Well, you kind of figured that apology was setting up. You would have expected that we're going to see Howard here at some point. I know he does play here in Las Vegas, but Daniel Negreanu, he played when he famously showed up on the high stakes game with Daniel Negreanu, and everybody was like, well, Daniel, what did you do? And he said, let him sit down. I want to take the money.
Andy fell off the map a long time ago. It's kind of like a family affair right now.
Yeah. It's gonna overshadow what's probably going to be a terrific World Series here this year to a point. We'll keep an eye on it because that's what we do. We're sitting right out here in the hallway.
Just waiting to pounce on any son of a gun we can get.
And it was funny because, like I said, before Black Friday, and I started doing the show right after Black Friday. We're coming up on Friday, actually a month after.